Hey guys, welcome back to Lynch's Garage, or maybe you can call it pub night. I don't know, whatever you want. But I'm hearing some people out there are not feeling well and a little under the weather and stuff like that. So I hope you can kick that cold or flu or whatever to the curb and get back on your feet and start feeling better. You know what I mean? There's nothing worse than trying to fight that stuff off. It's not good. But let's change the subject to a present I got from Cindy and Andrew for Christmas. And it's Ironworks. I believe that's down in Lunenburg. Now let's have a look. Right here, what I have is, you can see the Irish symbol. Got that over in Ireland. And of course, I got a cold marble stone, a whiskey stone in there. So I drink my whiskey with that, or I'll drink the rum with that too. But last week I tried this one here. Let me just see what this one is. This one here, all it says, it's Ironworks rum, 42% alcohol. That's right there, that one. So I tried that. I'm just going to try the next one in line, and then you know, we'll try another one next week. Let's put this one back. This is a nice gift. Really nice gift. Yeah, Lunenburg. Definitely Lunenburg. Distillery was founded in 2009. They opened the doors to the public in 2010. And I imagine they've been selling a lot. So this one here is called Rum Boat Rum. Yeah, Rum Boat Rum. Yeah, what's this one? Another 42% in a little 50 milliliter bottle. Look at that. So I'm just going to put some in there. And then we'll get chatting here in a second. Let's just go right up. What the heck? What that gives me is about, as you can see, gives me about half the bottle. So I've got 25. Let's put a little dab more. What the heck? We can stay a little bit late tonight, people. We don't have to. We don't have to go nowhere. You guys got your groceries and your beer and your wine, your coolers, and your whiskey. So we should just stay here. Now that's getting a little loose there. I'm gonna put that right down here just to be safe. I don't want it spilling all over the bullet. Let's just have a sip of that and see what it's like. Take these goggles off. I don't need those right now. Smell it first. Yeah, it's pretty good. Good stuff. Ooh, that'll clear the sinuses out. You guys got a cold. That'll do it for you. Mmm. Leaves a nice aftertaste too, and warms up your innards. Oh, jeez, that warms up the innards. So, yeah, well, I guess we're going to be in for a deep freeze here in the next couple days or so. Um, so, I'm just recording this now. It's around, by looking up at the old Harley clock there, it's 10 to 7. So, if we spend a half hour, 20 minutes, whatever, I'm hoping I can get the video up by 8 o'clock. Now, sometimes I don't know, technical difficulties, whatever, it seems slow loading up to YouTube. Very slow loading up there. Other times it's quick. So I don't know. It's all depends on the speed of the internet. But before we get right into her, this book here. Now, let's have a look here. This book, it was my Bible for doing the Vega. And back in the day, it does say UK pounds 150. So I guess this Peterson automotive book, maybe it was printed in Great Britain. I don't know. But the price for, I don't know if that's Canadian price or American price, was $2.95. Anyway, I might have bought it years ago from Cole's bookstore, I guess. I don't know. I don't recall ordering it in. We didn't have anything like internet back in 1976, probably when I picked up this book. Uh, Let me just look at the date of this book here. What do we got here? The date of this book, when it was printed. They should put the date on here somewhere. It's got all the 1975. This book was printed. So I probably picked it up in 76, I guess. Yeah, it's got a full cutaway. I think it's showing a notch back here. It's not showing a fastback, but it's got the full cutaway of the Vega there, all the inner workings and stuff like that. Pretty cool. So we'll get in deeper to this book once the storyline takes us up into the V8 days. Right now we're still with the old four banger, and the four bangers burning oil like there's no tomorrow. I don't know if I told you this last time. I used to go to Crappy Tire, Canadian Tire on off Main Street, and I used to buy the cans, and that's when the cans were sort of like a paper, wrapped paper, and this can was like a goldish color, and I used to get the thickest damn shit I could get. It was called Nugget Gold, and I'd get the thickest oil I could, and I'd dump her into the Vega, and sure enough, that little bugger, she'd burn it up. I don't know, 50 miles, 30 miles, 50 miles, she'd burn up a whole quart of oil. She's just smoking out the tailpipe. So the old four bang was ready for the boneyard. That's why I had to go the V8 route. Now, let's see. The first story, you're probably not going to believe it. I don't even believe it right now. I think back, I think, you had the balls to do that? You really had the balls to do that? But now, as I think back, my brother, Chris, he gave me a lot of confidence. He gave me a lot of confidence as I was growing up. And so, um, to do, basically he said one time, he said, maybe I mentioned I wanted to ask somebody out or something. He said, well, listen, the worst thing she's going to do is say no. And I'm thinking, yeah, you're right. She says no, big deal. Find someone else. Try it again. You know what I mean? So anyway, this story is, I think it's pretty good. So in the last story, previous video, you knew that me and Kenny, we were fighting over the checkout girl. We want to be near her. We want to be near Diane. And well, didn't one night when I was packing groceries for her, didn't I ask her, would you like to go out, I don't know, Sunday afternoon, I think it was, Sunday afternoon. Would you like to go out Sunday afternoon, maybe take a drive to Shubenacadie, to the wildlife park? And to my surprise, Diane Rex said, yes, I would like to go. And that blew me away. I said, whoa, man, ain't that good? So it was Sunday, and I picked her up at her house in the Vega. I'll show you what the Vega looked like at that point. Now, the Vega at that point still had the dark green factory paint, but I put the black stripe on it, like the back end's all covered in black, and then it comes up to a point toward the front of the front fender there. Other than that, maybe. Oh yes, I did have. I might have had dark blue fur on the dash or something. I don't know. Some, but I know. I think I did. And I also had this mirror that was this friggin' long. It was a special mirror that I think Canadian Tire sold it, and it was like it was a mirror here, and then it stepped in a bit, had another mirror, and another mirror, and it mounted up right there, right across your, above the windshield, and it gave you like a really a wide view. It's, I guess you would call it, in the old days it would be like your rear view camera they got nowadays, right? But it really helped in, when you're backing up and stuff like that. So that's what I had on that, and so I pick her up, and let me try to remember now. It was where Prince Andrew High School is. If you're going up Main Street and you see the vocational school in Prince Andrew, you make a right there. I don't know if it's called Brigadoon, or I can't remember the name of the street. Anyway, you're going down there, and she was on the right. Her house was a white and black. White mostly with some shutters, black shutters. Really sharp looking house, bungalow type. And I think her number, if I remember correctly, was 32. Pretty sure. I'd have to look on Google Maps. I would remember. It wasn't the one at the very end where you make a right to another street. It was the next house back. I know that. So I pulled in the driveway, and out she comes. Out she comes. She's wearing this sort of like a white summer dress that's long and goes down to, I don't know, just above her ankles or something like that. And it's like a free type of dress. I think maybe I seen Stevie Nicks in a dress like that, from Fleetwood Mac. She might have been wearing something like that. And Diane's like, she's dressed like that, and I thought, wow, okay. So we drive all the way on the highway, most of the way, the main highway. We're booting past the airport, and everything's cool. And was it exit 9? Probably exit 9, Milford or something like that. We get off onto that secondary road, just a skinny road. And we're boogieing along, and all of a sudden, friggin' bird goes right in front of us and smacks a Vega girl, or I smack it, whatever, right? And Diane's all worried. She goes, "Oh, we just hit a bird. We just hit a bird." I said, "Oh, okay." So I slow down and I pull over, and I'm more worried about the Vega girl than I am the bird, right? So I get out and I look around. I see feathers all over the place. I see some blood down the grill, but no cracks in the grill, right? So I see blood. I get back in the car. Goes, "No, lucky for the bird." I said, "Looks like we just winged it." So down the road, and we went to pulled into Shuby Park, and pulled up, got in deep where the parking lot was, and wasn't the damn park closed? I don't know why. It wasn't open. You couldn't go see the animals or anything like that. So we just sat there. We talked for 20 minutes, half hour, just talking about stuff. And then we drove back, and I drove her home, and that's kind of where that story ends. I should have really followed up on that, maybe. I don't know, but my life turned out super fine right now. So I don't know. It's strange how the different paths in life, uh, you know, it's meant for you not to take that path, and there's other paths up ahead that you're supposed to take, and that was one of them. But I still worked with her at Capital Stores, and I still packed her groceries and stuff like that. Yeah, so It's no problem. It was probably my fault. I didn't follow through and continue on. And I think she was going to go into nursing, and she said about moving to Ontario, if my memory serves me correct. But yeah. Um, so that was that story. Let's see. That one blew me away. Oh, here's a good one. Okay, before I show you the picture of the when I changed the color to red with the black stripe, and it was still the green there with the black stripe, I decided I'm going to make my own damn hood scoop. I thought, why should I buy one? I can make my own. So I got this mesh like this, and I got it. I got fiberglass up. I hardened the fiberglass. Then I laid body fill, skim of body fill over it, over the top, over the side, and I sort of tried to blend it into the hood, like it would flow into the hood, best I could. It didn't look that good, but I could see it didn't harden very well. Like it was like a little wobbly, like, so it was probably about, if you're looking side on, it was about that long and about that high. So square box, you think about this square box, and air's coming into it. There's no hole in the hood, no hole at all for the air to go anywhere. It's just pushing on the back of this fiberglass rig I made up. And so I thought, man, I'll just take it down to Pat Hanlon's place on Rose Street, and I'll show him. The hood scoop. I thought that'd be cool. So I pulled up in front of his house. I go in. I say, "Come on out, Pat. Check this out, man. Check the hood scoop I made." He goes, "Oh shit, that looks wicked, man. It looks sharp. It's all black. It's all like flat black or something like that." So that was cool. I said, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna head back home." So I jumped in the car. I got it around there. Started going down Slater Street. And that's before they put all these stop signs in Slater Street. You could just drive right through, basically. So I'm boogieing along. I'm about halfway down Slater Street, getting close to Woodland Avenue. And the goddamn hood scoop just went whoosh, right off the car. And I looked in the rearview mirror, and it was like it flattened out like that. And it just was skipping across the pavement behind me. So I look back, and I'm not going back to get that piece of crap. That was toast. So I learned, don't make your own hood scoop. Spend the money and buy it. That's what I did. So I'll show you a picture here soon. But I got another story. Another one with Pat. You all know Maple Street in Dartmouth. That's a steep bugger, that one, isn't it? Maple Street in Dartmouth, man. You can't get any steeper than that. Well, the next one over, Pine, that's pretty steep too. So I pick up Pat, and then he goes, "Well, we got 3 girls down there, sort of like they live toward downtown Dartmouth. Not all of them, but we picked 3 up there. So 3 of them got into the back seat, me and Pat at the front, and I'm driving back up Maple Street. Not sure where we were going. I don't know. Maybe we were going to McDonald's. I don't know, someplace like that. And we just started up the rise like that. Just up the rise, and the old Vega, 90 horsepower, and I got 5 people in the car, and that old engine, that old 4-banger was just chugging along like an old train. And then the girls in the back started singing, "I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can." Oh fuck! I'm getting rid of this motor. I'm getting a motor that will smoke the tires right off her. And that's what I did eventually. So that's another story. Now, what's the next one? Oh, here's a real doozy. This one. So I'm in the backyard, and it's winter time, and I had a class in the afternoon. I had to get back to school. So the driveway was gravel, but then there was a lip at the very edge in the backyard. I don't know, it's like a stone concrete thing. little bit thin there, and my back wheels got over that, and then I was trying to get out of the snow with the, and I was hitting that, and I just needed a little bit of a boost. That's all I needed, and I figured if I just put it into drive and I get out of the car and I wasn't putting my foot on the gas. I just like that jumped out and started pushing the car, and didn't it hook up over the ledge, and it drove right, bang, smashed right into the house. Yeah, yeah. My old man came home at lunch. He seen the mark on the big chip out of the concrete. He goes, "Ronnie, God damn it, you're gonna ruin our foundation." I said, "No, no, it was just a light tap, just a light tap. It just bent my bumper in a little bit." I said, "It didn't hit that hard, but it did hit hard. It hit pretty hard." I ended up changing that bumper later on anyway, so that's all okay. Everything was turned out fine. So it's just a word of caution: don't do that. Don't push your car when you're not in the driver's seat, ready to hit the brake pedal. That's pretty good stuff. That's not bad. But as you know, I got to squeeze past you here. Grab your drink, wine, beer, cooler, coffee, whatever you want, and that way we can each have a drink together. I don't know, probably something there you like to have on a Friday night. Got Dad's old mug again, same. Got the old Guinness, the Harp, 1759, right there. Man, I love this stuff. Like I've seen something on the Facebook or internet there. So people think that Guinness is a heavy beer. Really, it may look heavy, but it's not a heavy beer. And it's got less calories than a lot of the other beers, and zero sugar, I believe. Yeah, delicious. Yeah. So where were we? We just smacked the wall at 80 Woodland Avenue in the backyard. What did I do then? Okay, I had to change it to candy apple red. Candy apple red, really nice color. I believe it was a Ford candy apple red, and I went and bought a hood scoop. And now the hood scoop I bought, I believe I bought it from, it was called Bill's Speed Shop, and I thought it wasn't Burnside. I think it wasn't Burnside for a while, and then he moved it to sort of the foot of Hammonds Plains Road, after the highways, right around there on the left. He was there, and he sold a lot of good speed parts, high performance parts, and stuff like that. So I went there and I was looking around at the hood scoops. I didn't want nothing. I wasn't ready for pro stock or nothing like that, like a high hood scoop, because it was still the little four banger in it, 140 cubic inch or 2300 cc. That you'd be familiar with that. So let's see. What I found there was a nice low profile hood scoop that went out on each side in like a point like this. And what it replicated, now it wasn't an actual Corvette hood scoop, but it replicated that. If you were to look at, say, a 67, I guess, 67 Corvette, possibly a 66 Corvette, has a low profile hood scoop. This was a spitting image of it, and it was a sharp looking hood scoop. So I had the black stripe was still on it. What I did to give the effect of a split bumper of a 1970, 71, 73 Camaro, what I did is I had black tape, and I taped along the center section just to give me the look without going, and I just wanted to see if I liked the look And then if I did, I could always chop the center section out. But that's what it looked like right there. Yeah. And I tell you, the story continues because that is where I took one of the pictures that day. It was at Albro Lake. You can see the lake in the background, probably, and the rocks there that are still there. You could pull right in there. It wasn't blocked off like it is now. And I was doing a photo shoot. I was also down at Farrell Hall on the end of Albro Lake Road. I was there I did number shots there with the blue Farrell Hall in the background, and it looked sharp. I got pictures of that. I do. Yeah, there's one there. You can see Farrell Hall in the background there. So I did a number of pictures there. I think I did the pictures there first, and then I went to Arbor Lake and took these ones there. But the shot at Arbor Lake, it didn't end well. It did not end well at all. It was a terrible ending. I'll tell you what happened. Let's have a sip here. Cheers, guys. So, what happened? I took the shots. Was satisfied. I don't know if I'm satisfied because it's not like an iPhone. You got a little skinny little camera, and you got to take it to Kmart or whatever and wait 2 weeks to get it developed. So I wasn't a great picture taker. Oftentimes I cut a quarter of the car off, or I had my thumb on it or something. But some of these turned out. So I decide I'm going to go up the street deeper into the wooded area. Why did I do that? I didn't see that guy at that point. I think I just wanted to go up. That's when you went up that road, and it was merit quarters, a big loop of houses, and there was a radio tower there, and like a repeating station for the Navy ran that, and my dad was stationed there probably, I think, 1964, 65, maybe part of 66. We lived there. We lived in one of the duplexes there in the sort of like the big cul-de-sac it would be. We lived there. Dad actually was the guy that raised the Canadian flag in 1965 in February, when we first got that Canadian flag designed. Yeah. So I went up. I think I was just going up to do a loop and look at the old house we used to live in and stuff like that. And I went up, did the whole loop around the area. And there's only one way back. There's no other roads out. You're stuck. You got to come back, and you got to go back past Arbor Lake. You got no choice. So I come putting down. I'm only doing 30. And then I see this guy on the side of the road. I think I recognize him from school. I know his name. He was a heavy drug user. I'm not talking, just doobies and a little bit of hash and stuff like that. No, I'm talking some serious, heavy stuff he was into. And as I rolled up on him, I didn't think there was any need for me to speed up or anything. I just driving 30 miles an hour, whatever. And he was holding something. It looked like, I didn't really know what it was. He was swinging it like this, swinging it. And I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to go by. I got to go by. I got no fucking choice. I have to go by. So as I was going by, he tossed it out. And what it ended up being, it was a brown paper bag, but it had a fucking rock in it, about that fucking big, a big rock. And it hit as I was driving, and the force of it hit the windshield, and the windshield just shattered, just exploded right to friggin' pieces. The center portion of it. I don't think anything came in the Vega to hit me in the eye or anything, but it just destroyed the windshield. And I thought, you fucking bastard. I'll fucking get you. I'll get you. I'll get even. Yeah. I went straight home, called the Dartmouth police. Sure enough, they knew of him. They went, they picked him up, brought him straight down to the station, gave me a call at home. I went in, and they said, I was waiting in a room, and they said, can you please come down to this room here? We want you to identify him. I went down, I looked down and go, yeah, that's him. I know his name, Rodney Keeping. I hope he's dead now. I hope he's fucking dead. If he's not, he should be. Anyway, yeah, so they charged him. I think they tried to recoup the money from him for the damage. He didn't have any money. I wasn't getting. You can't get that. Can't get that out of a piece of stone, man. So I think my insurance company ended up throwing in a new windshield for me. So they were great. Allstate back in the day, they really stepped up to the plate when you needed help. Um, and insurance rates back then, they weren't that super high anyway, not like they are today. You know that. So yeah, so that's I think that's the end. Yeah, it doesn't end on a very good note, but I think the next, if I recall, the next story, we will probably be into the V8 mode. And I'll tell you about how I ordered the parts. They get to get all the parts to install the V8. Basically, what you got is you got a set of headers that were designed to, squeeze around the area inside the engine bay. You got the two motor mounts, so your small block would sit in and mount right on the motor mounts. You're bolting 3 bolts on each in the factory location that the Vega mounts were at. So that was pretty neat. You've got the heavy duty tube cross member that held the tail end of the transmission. You got that. I also read that they gave you a special bracket for the alternator. I don't know. I can't remember that. What else was there? The headers. No, that's about it. But they did want you to do something because the Vega radiator, right from day one, as people have said and engineers have said, they made it even too small for the 4-cylinder. They used to overheat a lot because it wasn't adequate enough for the 4-cylinder. So what they recommend on the Vega upgrade to a V8 is you take it to a radiator shop, which I did, and they're going to keep the 2 end caps, and they're going to lengthen the radiator, and instead of I think this was even only 1 core. Anyway, they're going to make it 3 core. So I put in a 3 core on the end caps. They were able to do that, and that rad was longer than the Vega rad was, substantially longer, and I never had any overheating problems at all. Geez, I used to run that thing from go out at 9 o'clock at night, and I'd be rolling around the city till 2 or 3, sometimes 4 in the morning, with all the other hot rodders and souped up cars. And I was all putting around the city, I didn't overheat at all. And that's, in the summertime, so that was good. That's the time we're getting now. Yeah, we're getting near 25 after 7. So I'd like to get this video up for you guys, at least by 8, if there's no delays in the old internet upload. But like I always say, guys, and I always will, I like each and every one of you to stay safe out there. You know what I mean. Thunder Road.